Okay, this has been a thorn in my side for quite some time now. There is like a huge berm of dirt here from where we had a bunch of stumps I ripped out with the excavator this last fall, and then I dug away at that hillside over there behind the backhoe to get some basically fill dirt pulled down to kind of build up from about right here where my finger line is all the way out, and that's about 8 inches higher than when I started. And right about where the bucket is on the backhoe, there's this big berm of dirt back there, and I'd say there was 15 or 20 yards that I moved with this backhoe, and kind of back bladed it and front bladed it, and Kara and I have been out here raking up little rock piles. We'll load it in the bucket and then take it up by where the pickup truck is and dump it off the hillside for extending our little our little parking area where the pickup's at. So yeah, it's all coming along slowly but surely. And of course, when I can wield a chainsaw again, this all needs to be cut up. Yeah, it'll be pretty sweet down here though. Here's a view of the house. And yes, Tim Durr, this is a 310 John Deere. It's 74 or 5 or something like that. Really good backhoe. There we go, 310A. 4,900 hours. No, we're almost to 5,000 hours. I'm the lucky contestant that gets to run this machine into 5,000 hours. Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, it's a good old tight backhoe, kind of. It's got a pin and bushing for the dipper stick that needs to be replaced. Other than that, everything else is good. It's that one right there is got quite a bit of slop in it, but yeah, rest of it's pretty skookum. Anyhow, doing a shout out today. I'd like to thank Woods, Billy Adams, and Mud Dog Con for subscribing and being a part of this channel. Without support and viewership from people like you, I wouldn't endeavor to find cool things to put on YouTube and yeah, have you all check it out. So who else? There's somebody else on here that hasn't. Oh, oh man, I can't think of his name now. Wayne King. I'd like to give a shout out to Wayne King and Connor. Sorry buddy, I can't remember your last name. But these two dudes I did interviews with on the tower side back in December, and I never did give you dudes a shout out. Oh, and then Logan Wadley, I'd like to give you a shout out as well. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I appreciate you being a part of this channel. And check out West Coast Logging, Alex S. Gate, Skidder Kev, GNS Logging, SWNO2, Skadill, Fox Pine, Jimmy Legs 75, Logger Guy, Horse Faller, and Old School Logging, among others. Oh, Caught on Top 3 and Logger Wade. they've got really good content. I know you'd really appreciate watching some of their videos. And jump in the comments down below. Let me know what you want to see. And Joseph Boley wanted me to do a video on electronic chokers. When I get a chance, I'll do that. I'm supposed to be heading up here pretty soon to that little yarder side that I did a video on here last week, Northwest Land and Timber, and I'll do one on their electronic chokers. Also, Jason Bowling of JSB Logging, I'm going to be able to go out and check out his logging operation. He's out by Forks. He's doing a Forest Service thinning, and he's told me I can come out and video them logging away, and I'll be able to do an interview with him and maybe one or two of his guys on the crew. So that'll be pretty cool. And then a buddy of mine down in Mineral, Washington, Ole Satterdahl, has a little tower side. He's got an eco logger mounted on like a Clark 666 or 667 or something like that, and I'm gonna go check him out. And then we've got some ground-based loggers out in Kingston, Washington, TFE. Gonna go catch up with them here in the next few days and get an interview with Side Rod there, Richard French, and hopefully catch up with his dad. His dad's a timber faller from way back, worked on the West End and Forks in the heyday of logging big timber, and yeah, so that'll keep everybody primed and interested for a while, and while I scout out some more people and jobs to go check out. ENB Logging from Centralia area is out here in my neck of the woods, and they got a ground-based side and a tower side moving in pretty soon. Hoping to paddle myself out there and check them out. They're way back up in the boonies, like way back in the boonies. Probably a 45-minute drive. Whereas the crow flies, they're maybe 20 minutes. So I'm going to see about going up there and checking them out. And yeah, that's about all for now. And we are going to take a few more trees out here on our property in the fall, so I'll be making some more videos of us with the Clark skidder over here, you know, doing what we do. So we have two creeks on our property. One, you probably can't hear it, but it's over the road and through the woods, about 100 feet from here, and we own like 35 feet up on the other side of the creek. There's a right-of-way road for some neighbors, and we're just going to thin some of this out so that we get more sunlight on this lower part of the property. A few of these trees are going to go in here, make a little bit more area for a pad for parking here. And then also Patrick, Speed Marine, at some point in the next few weeks or month maybe, offered to come out and help me move a dump truck back to my house. I did a video on it. It's a 67 International 4000 or 400 or something like that. It's got a 8V71 in it with a 5 and a 4, and we're gonna find a way to move it back to the house. The motor, let's see, what is it now? The bell housing has a crack in it. It's aluminum bell housing. It's a low slung #1, and oh man, it's crazy. So it's got an air starter in it, and apparently the air starter was stuck. It was stuck in the out position, like it was still in the flywheel, and the veins or whatever, it was frozen. So they tried bump starting the dump truck with a skidder, and so they bump started with the skidder, and when they dropped the clutch, it broke that ring housing that the starter slides into and bolts to, broke that off of the bell housing, and then it put a split up the bell housing from the starter right along the oil pan and the block, almost all the way up to the gear train, and then it broke the bell housing almost in half right below the right below the motor mount. And I mean, it's a mess. It is a mess. Oh, and then apparently they had it running for, like, I don't know, a few seconds or something like that, and there was some oil pouring out, and they weren't sure if the oil was from the fracture in the bell housing or if it was, coming out of the puke pipes. So anyway, the guy is nice enough. He said, "Hey, Daniel, I'm never going to do anything with this dump truck. If you want it, you can have it." So the thought was, drag it over here. We'd make a video out of pulling the motor, putting the bell housing on, slapping it back in, and then it's a working dump truck. He had the motor rebuilt in it. It's been like 20 years ago now, but it hasn't done that much work since then. And it's got new brakes. He had the clutch done, I think. Or no, it just has new brakes. That's right, new brakes, new air cans. And I mean, you can crawl underneath the truck and see that the brakes, they're really thick still. I mean, they got a lot of meat left on them, so that's cool. It'll be a project, and that's about it around here. Not much else to report. Feeling better every day. Can't wait to be able to get out and use a saw again. I got an offer to go run yarder from 2 different outfits, and that was all groovy. The one place I'm going to go visit is down there in Mineral, and not quite sure about that yet. I'm not real interested in working away from or being away from home in general, and most likely, if that gig with the county doesn't come up soon, I'll go back and work with my friends at TFE. So that's the thought there. And did a wheel seal on this guy today. That was sweet. Got that out of the way, or a axle seal or whatever you want to call it. So getting closer. Got the front end tightened up, and I got a couple good tires. I'm gonna mount on those aluminum rims I got, and have them balanced, and then slap it back on here and see if the death wobble is gone. Tightened up the wheel bearing up here on this side. It was kind of loosey-goosey. Somebody did rotors on this about 3 years ago. Actually, rotors, and they did calipers, and yeah, this one was a little loose, so I think that was part of my problem. And that, plus having an off-balance tire, because it was all on this side, it wasn't on the passenger side, caused that wheel to bounce around. So anyway, that's the deal there. Again, thank you very much for subscribing to this channel. If you're new here, this is the first time you're watching anything from me, check out my backlog videos. There's about 409 of them or so, and you'll get kind of a rounded idea of what this channel is all about. I enjoy all things logging, and I enjoy all the equipment, and I've just started to get into interviewing loggers. I really love Loggers World. I love what they do, and I'm always interested in people's stories. And so I've, like some of the jippos in between, I've you know, been hitting up people in my hometown and guys that I've worked with just to get their story, because you don't always hear how some of these people get into logging and why they did it, what they love about it. And so that inspired me to go and do that. So if it wasn't for Loggers World, I wouldn't have the interest in hearing people's stories the way that I do. And if you've never heard of Loggers World, go and type in Loggers World or Log Trucker in a Google search and subscribe to those people's magazine, because they put out an awesome publication. And I've met Kevin Core and his wife, I think her name's Nancy, and they are really great people, really awesome people to talk to, and they're real humble. And catch up with them at the OLC if you get down that way. And definitely subscribe to their magazine, because it is a blast to read. And again, thank you for being here. If you like what you see, subscribe and hit the bell on the end for all the updates. And check out all my liked videos and the people I'm subscribed to, because they got awesome videos. Take care, and bye now.